Alright, so we just had the weigh-in today for Oleksandr Usyk versus Daniel Dubois. So all systems are go for tomorrow night. Also, don't forget we're going to be doing a live watch-along 8:30, locking live. We're going to be doing a watch-along, see how it goes. Hopefully we're in for a great fight. But a lot of people are talking about the weights. Not necessarily on Oleksandr Usyk's end, because Oleksandr Usyk weighed 220. That's pretty normal for him. He's been in around... But probably between, I think, 217 is the heavyweight and 221, 222 is the heavy. So he's really been in the same weight. He's probably weighed the same in his cruiserweight fights, truth be told. So he's always been around about the same. For Daniel Dubois, on the other hand, he weighed in around about 233, thereabouts, which is quite light for him. In fact, actually, it's one of his lightest weights since he's been a pro. And a lot of people are asking questions about that. Some people are saying it's a good thing. Other people are saying, does that mean he's overtrained and will maybe be a bit weaker? You know, you sometimes hear heavyweights say when they weighed a certain weight, they felt strong, they thought taking the weight off would benefit them, but it didn't. Now, for the most part, when you hear people say that, they've done a crash diet or they've been maybe a bit out of shape and in the past few fights and they've lost it all real quick. So, of course, you're going to feel a bit weak. With Daniel Dubois, he's never really been out of shape. He's always been in fairly good nick. He looked in very good nick for this fight. So some would say he's obviously took this training camp more serious than he has others. And what he would definitely need to as well to take this training camp more serious. In terms of him coming in light, I don't think it's a bad thing necessarily. Because one thing Dubois is well, he's definitely not quick. He's not the quickest heavyweight. He is fairly upright. And coming in very heavy against someone like Oleksandr Usyk, even if you're going to try and stick it on him, you're presenting a fairly easy target for Oleksandr Usyk to hit. He won't need to really... He'll worry about what's coming back, yeah, but if you're not the quickest, you're going to give him time to really plan his attacks and he'll be able to do what he needs to do. If you're a little bit faster, it's going to take him a little bit more time to get settled. So for me, Dubois weighing in lighter is a good thing. I think also that kind of says to me that he probably knows himself. He's going to have to go in and try and stick it on Oleksandr Usyk from the opening bell, which I believe is his only real way to do it. He needs to do that. If he gives Usyk time, you know, that's it. You know, you may as well stick a fork in him then and there. If he's planning on doing that, he obviously must have had a look at there at Chisora and saw that Chisora had success early on in the fight, but he couldn't sustain it. Maybe Dubois is thinking, I need to train harder, I need to train lighter, going to go all out attack, and hopefully I can sustain it. Because Dubois has never shown any real issues with stamina. Throughout his career, he's shown actually that he has decent enough stamina for a man of his size. Maybe he just feels that if he's a bit lighter, has a bit less weight to carry, a bit less lactic acid, bit of a tongue twister there, in the muscles, that he'll be able to sustain these attacks for longer and really make it uncomfortable for Oleksandr Usyk. Not give Oleksandr Usyk any time, any space to get warmed into the fight and set the tempo. Because again, if you let Usyk get into a rhythm, if you let him set the tempo, if you give him too much time and space, he'll start to figure you out before you can figure him out and you're done. Like Anthony Joshua found out in both those fights. You play Oleksandr Usyk's game, that's it. You know, you try and outbox the boxer, it just ain't going to work. You know, when Joshua found that out. So Daniel Dubois, I don't think is going to be trying that. I think he's going in there knowing deep down, like Daniel Dubois, as I said, he's a very reserved character, but he's not stupid. He's not someone who's going to think, okay, I'm going to finesse my way through 12 rounds over there in Poland, which is basically a homecoming fight for Oleksandr Usyk, and they're going to give me a decision. I would imagine him and Don Charles are going in there thinking, we need a stoppage. You know, we need to get rid of this guy. And interesting that he has James Ali Bashir in the corner as well, who's obviously, I think, Anthony Joshua, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe I am mistaken. I thought I heard him with James Ali Bashir for one of the fights, but not as a main trainer, but just kind of in the corner there as a bit of a support. Maybe James Ali Bashir's advice to Daniel Dubois is just try and just make it uncomfy for him. Don't try and outbox him, because it's just not going to work. So interesting that Daniel Dubois is weighed in light. Some people seem to... There's very weird with some boxing fans, because some seem to kind of think that if a fighter heavyweight comes in a little bit lighter than usual, it's a sign that, okay, they're going to be weak. In some cases, yes, they will be. In some cases like that, though, I think, as I already said, like, if you lose an awful lot of weight, if you're a bit out of shape and you lose an awful lot of weight, you're going to feel weak, because your body's not been able to adjust to it. You know, with Tyson Fury, when he was trying to weigh in the 250s, he was really having to take it out of himself to get down to that weight. And to his credit, John Fury seen that, spotted it and said, no, come in heavy. And obviously we see Tyson Fury now is fighting at a lot more of he's at his optimum weight. You know, where maybe back in the day, 10 years ago, 250 would have been perfect for him. He's not able to do that safely and comfortably anymore. Where there's other heavyweights where you look at them and you think, say, like 230 would be an optimum weight for you instead of 250. You know, you look at someone like Joseph Parker and you're like, yeah, but if I weigh 230, I feel weak. Well, of course, if you lose it over the course of a couple, like 2 months, of course you're going to feel weak. But if you do it incrementally, that's why most like dietitians will tell you the safest way to lose weight would be 2 to 3 pounds a week, because you're just taking it off nice and slowly rather than going and setting a goal of like, I want to lose 8 pounds every week, and then by the end of it you're like, yeah, I look good but I can barely stand. That's just not sustainable and it just doesn't work. Dubois has not lost a crazy amount of weight. It's not like he was weighing in the 250s and now he's significantly lighter. No, it's not like that. So I reckon he's going to be strong still. I reckon he's going to be probably a little bit quicker, because normally he is, and he's not the fastest heavyweight in the world, but he'll probably be a little bit quicker. You'll probably be able to notice that. And it's going to be real interesting from the first round to see what kind of pace he sets, to see how Oleksandr Usyk settles in there. And just to see as well, I said it once, I'll say it again, how Daniel Dubois reacts to being in hostile territory, because he will be. It's going to be 30,000 fans there and they're all going to be screaming for Oleksandr Usyk. So it's going to be real interesting to see how Dubois handles that. That's my thoughts on this. With the weigh-in, sometimes I have changed my picks or changed how I think a fight will go, stemming upon the weigh-in. I am still going to be going with Oleksandr Usyk by stoppage. Whether I'm right or wrong with that, we'll wait and see. We'll find out tomorrow. I'll leave it there, lads and lasses. Hope you enjoyed it. Smash the like button if you could. Hit subscribe, of course, if you haven't already. For now, I'll talk to you. I might not talk to you till tomorrow. If not, till then, peace.